WCW Monday Nitro, February 5th, 2001. 8 episodes to go.
Could have been 7.
We start in the middle of a Nash Flair promo.
Yeah. We started in the middle.
Yes, join in progress.
Of a promo.
Yes. So, Flair is saying that if Kevin Nash wants to fight him, he'll have to get through Animal first. Nash goes through Animal like it's nothing. Mm-hmm. And Flair is left screaming on the microphone, "Animal, get up!" So Nash is yelling at Flair. Steiner and company arrive in their limo. They go running out, although it takes them like 5 minutes to get there. Nash threatens to strip Flair naked, begins to strip Flair naked.
Why?
Well, because Flair, like the cat, is apparently a member of Right to Nudity. He's never been shy about that kind of thing.
You don't say.
Yeah. So this goes forever before anyone shows up. I'm wondering if somebody missed a cue. Finally, the cavalry arrives. Nash threatens to break Flair's neck if they hit the ring, so they throw in the brakes. Nash calls out the cat. Now the cat, I don't know what.
Oh, this was where it began. This fucking Shat comes out, and he's got to make some matches, okay? But like, he always has to go into business for himself.
Yes.
He always has to say these jokes that he thinks are funny, but nobody else does.
Right.
He has to say Big Papa Dump 85 times, because like no one's laughing. So maybe he figures the more I say it, the more likely they'll hear what I'm saying. So he announces that Scott Steiner will be having... No, first he says... He comes out and he says, "I'm going to send all of you home." Then he starts signing them into matches. It's like, well, why the fuck did you say you were sending everybody home if you're supposed to sign them to matches? He goes... "Scott Steiner, you're going to wrestle 3 times tonight, because I'm a 3-time karate champion. Big Papa Dump." He signs Scott Steiner versus 4 cruiserweights. All right. Then he says you will face Diamond Dallas Page. Then you will face Kevin Nash in a title match. He says, if somebody loses, I'm not even sure who he said. If somebody loses, Flair has to resign at midnight tonight. I'm like, if who loses? If Nash loses? If Steiner loses? Who has to lose for Flair to resign tonight? Then he goes, Nash will also have a mystery partner. I'm like, you're signing a championship match, okay, where if somebody loses, I don't fucking know who, because you can't get your story straight. If somebody loses, Flair resigns at midnight, and it's a title match where Nash, the babyface, will have a mystery partner against the heel,
who has already wrestled 2 other matches.
Then he clarifies, if Nash wins, Flair is out. Okay?
Yeah.
And as it turns out, he was never supposed to say it was a title match. It was only supposed to be the resign stipulation. But as always, he just says whatever comes to his fucking mind. We have to try to figure out what's going on. And then they were like, well, he ain't gonna fucking win anyway, so we may as well not fix it. So it is a title match, a handicap match. If the babyface with the advantage over the heel wins, Flair has to resign. Got all that?
And he's the champion.
Okay, that made no fucking sense what I just said, but it made more sense than when Shat said it. God, I was hating this show already.
Do you have a cat to English dictionary?
This was a 10-minute segment that felt like it went 30 minutes.
Absolutely horrible fucking segment.
He's the worst spokesman.
Yes.
And they give him the mic all the time.
Every show. Back in the day, there were websites that kept track of win-loss records. Mm-hmm. And you go to check the top records in WWF, and it's the top baby faces. It was Austin and Undertaker. They won all the time. And the best win-loss record in WCW was The Cat.
God.
He just won all the time. That's why WCW is dead. So after the break, Flair is still being helped out of the ring. We open with Scott Steiner in a 4-on-1 handicap match versus Kaz Hayashi and Jimmy Yang and Jamie Noble and Evan Courageous.
Dude. I mean, the good news is, like, I love this.
Oh, God, this is great.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to put this in context of what it was like at the time.
Well, first, we have to make it very clear that this company is 2 months away from dying, and what they need is to create new stars. And the one thing that drove a lot of fans off was that the cruiserweights were talented but always got destroyed.
Yeah.
And so here we are. It's 2001. They're teetering towards death, although they think they're teetering towards a new deal, but that falls apart. And they have Steiner go out and destroy. And keep in mind, at the pay-per-view, these guys had the best match on the show.
Yeah.
So their plan is Steiner's going to come out and single-handedly, as a heel, by the way, destroy 4 cruiserweights all at the same time.
Not even one after another.
No, he
Simultaneously.
fucks them up one at a time. He's suplexing them on their heads.
It's so awesome.
killing these dudes.
Like, from a business sense, it's very much the wrong thing to do. And if you were not around in 2001, I can't tell you how outraged wrestling fans were by this segment. And I understand why. But knowing how history ended up for everyone and how in the end this company was dead one way or
If
another.
you have the who gives a fuck mindset,
Yes.
it was awesome.
This is so glorious. Just carnage and ruin as far as the eye can see.
Yang took an exploder literally on top of his head.
Yes.
It was unbelievable. He's still walking.
Avalanche T-bones out there.
The story
Deadlift
is
belly to bellies.
he destroys them all. They make one brief comeback. They all lay on him. He bench presses them all into the air to kick out, like an explosion.
Yes.
He kills them some more, and then a stacked up 3-man Steiner recliner for the triple submission.
Yes.
Jesus.
I love this.
I laugh.
It's awful, but I loved it.
My God, this show.
Flair is still getting dressed.
I love this because Flair's back there. He's going nuts. He's yelling at Animal. Steiner comes in. Steiner starts yelling at Flair. Flair turns at Sanders and goes, "It's your fault. Take care of this."
You booked us in separate limos, he says. That's why he was alone and Steiner wasn't there to save him. He orders Sanders to get things fixed. So, the Cat and Kevin Nash are gloating in their locker room when in walk Dallas Page and half of Chronic. Kron, apparently.
Sure. Or Nick.
Or Nick. So they all sit down, and Cat is shouting about Dallas Page and Scott Steiner. He's got a bad neck. You got to jack his neck. He's got a bad back. You got to jack his back. You got to just diamond cutter him. And as Cat's going off, Bryan Adams turns to Kevin Nash and softly mumbles, "My partner got banned from the building." And Nash goes, clearly news to Kevin Nash about this. And
That's what he said?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Pretty
Fairly.
I thought he said something else about the bathroom.
What?
Possible? I did rewind.
Because he wasn't banned from the building. The storyline was that he was hurt and couldn't come to the building. So maybe Adams didn't know that.
The story is Flair's doctors and lawyers banned Clark from the building.
Well, the doctors.
Yes. So anyway, this was awful.
Yeah.
This is a horrible segment. Mean Gene interviews Rick Steiner. Steiner says he wants to beat Shane Douglas for the U.S. title and give Nash more incentive to beat my brother.
Can't wait till Granny gets out of the hospital and I award her a cat for a gift.
Great idea.
Oh, she'll be overjoyed.
It's a great idea. I don't know why Rick Steiner beating Shane Douglas would give Kevin Nash more incentive, but that was Rick's idea.
Can you imagine that they had that god-awful match last week? And so the first thing they do is rematch them this week?
Yeah. That's what happened.
It was about as good.
I mean, it can't be worse than last week, right?
Yeah, could be. I'm not sure it was or not, to be honest.
It was not worse than last week.
It was very bad.
Gene interviews Bryan Adams. They show video of Road Warrior Animal hitting Brian Clark in the head with a chair, busting him open.
Yeah, so they say that he is on the shelf. That's why he's not here.
But he also said he didn't go to the hospital after.
Crush claims he did not go to the hospital. He went home and sewed it up himself.
And laughed.
Yes.
A cut on the back of his head.
Yes.
That is an insanely talented man.
strategically place the mirrors. It'll work.
And then he says, tonight I will take out Luger and Buff with only my fist. He was like you at the border. Only these, he says.
No lead pipe, no steel chair, just these.
So he thinks it's a handicap match.
yes.
No one has any idea what's going on.
Yeah. I'm just glad I'm the only one who randomly referred to him only as Crush this week.
Oh, I had
All my notes.
I got the next segment here. Luger and Flair and Animal and Buff backstage. Buff says Adam Bomb is out for 3 weeks. I couldn't even get that one straight. Luger wants... Oh, no.
Oh, here he goes. Granny, turn it off.
Okay. Luger, Buff, and Animal are with Ric Flair. Okay?
Check.
All right. Flair is the president and can make any match he wants.
Right.
Yes.
Luger and Buff are heels.
Correct.
Buff has an idea. He says Adam Bomb is out for 3 weeks. Luger says, why don't you make a match, Rick? It's us versus Chronic at the pay-per-view in a no substitution match. That way, if Adam Bomb can't show up, it'll be a handicap match. I'm like, why don't you just fucking ask for a handicap match?
Sure.
Your fucking idea is a no substitution match. You know what I'm saying? That's what you fucking came up with to screw the baby faces? Not just his partner's injured. Why don't we just have a handicap match at the pay-per-view? No, let's have a no substitution match. Maybe he won't be there, but maybe he will. Ah! Good one, Crush! That's the match they came up with.
It wasn't Crush's fault.
Or whoever came up with this fucking match.
By the way,
Buff! The show's so dumb, it makes me dumb. You ever had a day like that?
Yes, actually. Watching these shows.
I can't figure out what's going on because this show is so stupid. It's making me stupid.
by the way, why was Luger wearing a... He's dressed like a fisherman.
He was, yes.
I love on this show, something totally stupid and nonsensical happens, and then Craig's like, did you see what he was wearing? That's what you got out of this? He was dressed like a fisherman?
Brian, he was wearing khaki cargo pants. He was wearing a button-up shirt and a ball cap.
He may as well have had
He
waiters.
probably just got back from fishing because nobody gives a fuck about wrestling on this show.
He also called their team Totally Buffed again.
He did.
That's the name of it. Totally buffed. Lex Luger.
As in, like, past tense?
Yeah, they've been buffed.
Like a car.
Yes, look at them. They're very shiny.
That's actually true. Shane Douglas versus Rick Steiner.
Fucking terrible. Shane's got a cast on. A
No.
fucking cast.
No one knows why.
It's never explained. It's just like, he's got a cast from his fucking finger to his elbow.
Yeah.
The ref's like, let's see. Yeah, it's hard as a fucking rock. Ring the bell.
So Douglas whacks him with a cast immediately, casts him, then picks up a chair, gently pokes him in the belly with a chair like 5 times. Mm-hmm. And then they go to, they do a spot where both guys duck and neither guy actually swings a punch. They have no chemistry together.
But this was not worse than last week.
It was miles better than last week.
Oh, Vinny.
Last week was terrible, dude. So Steiner takes over. He's going for, I guess, the Bulldog. He jumps off, and Douglas does not swing the cast forward. Mm-mm. Douglas holds his arm in the air.
Yes.
And Steiner lands on his feet and headbutts it and goes down.
This was worse than last week, Vinny. Last week they fucked up one hip toss. This they fucked up everything.
It was more than that. I'm seeing your point. I may be wrong about which was worse, but so then the one thing both matches had in common, they both did 95 too many things. You're not doing a pay-per-view main event. You're doing a TV mid-card match. You don't need 87 false finishes.
It was for the title. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Steiner kicks out of one finish, hits the Steiner driver, and wins. Crowd did pop.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd did pop. Flair meets with Chavo. Do you remember Ric Flair's notorious promo from Raw on Carlito?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Where before going off on Carlito, he says something about how I don't even know who I am anymore.
Yes.
Ric Flair here on Nitro in 2001 looks at Chavo Guerrero Jr. and says, sometimes I forget who I am.
Concussions.
And severe insecurity issues.
Mostly bad booking.
All of the above. So me and your dad went drinking, he says. I found a real bad apple for you to wrestle. He's going to take you to the limit and then make you look good at the end. And he looks at his monitor. That's what he said. Don't get mad at me. That's what he said. And he looks at his monitor where Dustin Rhodes is making his entrance and he screams, Rhodes isn't allowed on the show. What's he doing here? He storms off.
So this next segment, it's Dustin coming out. And basically he calls out Ric Flair. Flair appears on the screen. He's going nutty. He says Dustin will never work here. And so they're trying to pretend like it's a shoot. Dustin doesn't work here. He showed up. So as Dustin starts to rant, they cut his mic and they cut immediately to commercial. Mm-hmm. Because the storyline is he's not supposed to be there and they don't want you to see it or hear what he says. They go to commercial. They come back for a replay as well as footage of
Dustin
him being arrested.
Right.
I'm like, can you do one fucking thing right on this show? Rob, you are a fucking Emmy award-winning producer compared to these people here. This is so bad. Every now and then you make a mistake, okay? But other than that, you do everything right. They haven't done one thing right on this show. Have they done one thing right?
I like when Flair in one breath says, you'll never work here, you're fired.
Yeah. Not one thing right on this show. This isn't even a Russo show.
No. Dallas Page versus Scott Steiner.
I will say one thing, okay? So after I got that rant out, this match wasn't bad.
No.
But it was a bad finish.
It was
okay?
a bad finish. So,
and I will say, when Scott Steiner wrestled those Young Dragons, okay? When they announced he had 3 matches, I thought, okay, it's Nitro. So, one of the matches will be a real match, and the other 2, it'll just be bullshit. They're not going to make this guy really work 3 full matches. He's gigantic. He'll explode. He goes out there, and granted, it was a squash match, but he worked his ass off with those Young Dragons.
he got a workout in.
He's fucking throwing these guys. He's bench pressing. He worked his ass off. So he comes out here, and I thought, okay, it's Steiner DDP. It should be like a quick angle and diamond cutter, and he'll get out of there. This fucking guy worked his ass off.
He did.
He had another real match with Diamond Dallas Page, and despite the finish, he worked.
Oh, yes. Now, the last time I believe these two were together, it was backstage, and Scott Steiner was trying to tear the man's eyeball out.
That's right.
So I was very curious how they'd be able to work together. And the answer is, for the most part, very well. Very professional. Everything is fine. Now, somewhere in here, Scott Steiner did get a bloody lip, which is not the end of the world. But if I were Dallas Page and I bloodied this man's lip,
I would be scared.
running for the door.
Let me give you a jiu-jitsu analogy here to this fight, Vinny.
Okay.
Rob will understand this. So if you go to a new gym and you've got any color on your belt, or really anything, they're just going to try to kill you.
Sure.
Right, Rob? Am I wrong about this?
You are not wrong at all.
Okay. So, you know how to...
What happened?
Rob unplugged me is what happened.
How'd I unplug you?
This doesn't count, does it?
This is your fault, Brian. Rob was sitting there minding his own business, and you called him into action.
How did...
Oh, no.
I literally didn't touch a fucking thing. How did I unplug you?
Did you hit a button over here, Brian? Are all those buttons right?
You fucking unplugged something, dude. Something got unplugged here.
Vinny, you want to run play-by-play on this?
Okay, so Brian is fiddling with his knobs.
Right.
Yeah, switching levers and
Yeah. Pulling things.
yanking cords.
Sure.
Yes. And
See, something got unplugged.
red lights came on. A red light came on over here, and a blue light came on over there. They're gone now.
Damn it.
Popping again.
Yeah,
Give me that.
the lights are off.
Your headphones unplugged this fucking thing. It was you.
Uh-oh.
It was Rob, everybody. It was Rob.
Does this count as producing?
I'm not sure I'm going to count this one.
Okay.
He was sitting there again, minding his own business.
Now do I got audio? Hello?
No, not yet. The lights are also still off?
What did you do, Hey, talk about something. What were we even talking about?
Talking about Dallas Page and Scott Steiner. And you were going to say something about jiu-jitsu, but now we can't. Rob, do you know where he was going to go with that one? Do you want? I'll put my mic over here now. Okay. So yes, so Steiner gets a couple of near falls. Page kicks out. So in
Your
frustration,
headphones yanked out the power cord. All right. I won't hold that one against you, Rob. Now, where was I?
Jits.
You know how you solve the problem of going to a new gym and everyone is there to just beat your ass?
You go home.
No! You go in there, and it doesn't matter if you're higher or lower ranked. You go, and everybody submits you. Because once they've beaten you, now they're cool.
I see.
So, when DDP and Scott Steiner had that big fight, there was no ego afterwards.
I'm sure that's
DDP
true.
was like, you beat my ass.
I'm sure that's true.
And like, everybody was fine, and they moved on with their lives.
Yes.
It's very important that I got that story out.
Apparently.
Despite all of this rigmarole.
So Steiner gets frustrated. He lays out the referee. And as soon as he lays out the referee, they do a big spot, and Page gets the diamond cutter.
Rob's still trying to beat me up. It's been 4 years.
Of course, there is no ref. Eventually, the ref does call for the bell.
Well, Wednesday.
So it's a disqualification because Steiner hit the ref. So in this way, Page wins.
Where are we? Oh, the Steiner match still? All right, keep going. A lot happened there, Vinny.
Page wins and hits his move, but Steiner does not lose his title. That's the point of all this.
Yeah.
Then as Page is celebrating with the fans,
Good morning. What does he always say?
there was a lot of good night on this show.
Okay, good night.
So as Page is celebrating with fans, they say, "Wait, that fan is attacking Dallas Page."
This giant fan.
With long black hair, who's
looked like a
280
worker.
pounds. It's Chris Kanyon, and Jeff Jarrett's also there. Took him a long time to figure out it's Chris Kanyon. So go to commercial. We come back. Page's friends are tending to him backstage. Jarrett and Kanyon run to a car and drive away because God forbid somebody attacks somebody in the show and stays around. Well, that's what happens all the time. I don't know why these two had to be the ones who ran away. Chavo Guerrero Jr. versus his mystery opponent, El Nino.
How long did it take you to
El
figure
Nino.
7 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Nobody had any idea who El Nino was. The fans had no idea.
No.
The announcers had no idea. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Tony. But somebody goes, this El Nino, he's very Bugsy McGraw-ish.
It was Tony.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I have no idea.
Bugsy McGraw-ish?
I don't know.
That was a comparison that even
guess
I was baffled by.
There was a part where he was like doing the airplane taunt, running around in circles with his arms out.
Sure.
I guess that was it. But
It was so clearly Ray.
it was Rey Mysterio Jr.
And I mean, if you, to be fair, Ray had been maskless for a long time. And if you've been watching Ray in 2020, the masked El Nino looked exactly like Rey Mysterio in a different costume. But I mean, even without that, every move he did was a Rey Mysterio move.
Yes.
Every movement he made was a Rey Mysterio move.
every mannerism, every gesture.
It wasn't until he finally, actually, I can say that. He did a 619. The announcer still had no idea who it was.
Yeah.
He finally hit the springboard leg drop. The last move of the match.
The finish.
Good night. Guess what? It's Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
Then he unmasks, and it is, in fact, Rey Mysterio.
So the announcers here are talking about El Nino and the luchador tradition. You know, it's the luchadors, they say, who helped WCW rebuild its cruiserweight division. And then an hour ago, we killed it.
Well, there were no luchadors that got killed in that match.
No, there weren't,
quite
actually. That's
frankly.
true. They killed the cruiserweights, but no luchadors. So this match went forever. We got like a comeback, and then another comeback, and then Chavo hits a chin lock, and then more comebacks. And finally, Ray wins the West Coast pop, and he reveals himself. So are Rey Mysterio and Ric Flair buds then? Did they work together to screw Chavo?
No. Somehow Ric Flair... Okay,
Explain that. I want to know.
I'll explain this to you.
I want to know.
Okay, I can't believe I'm doing this. Rick went drinking
Yes.
with
Chavo
Chavo Guerrero Sr.
Yes.
Right.
Which, that part's believable.
Absolutely. Sure.
Okay. At the bar, Rey Mysterio was dressed in a costume as El Nino.
Why? What?
That's what Ric Flair said. He found a guy when they were out drinking that was a real Spitfire, or whatever he called him. And so, I don't know if maybe Ray and Chavo spoke Spanish to each other and Ray didn't understand, and then Chavo said, this guy will take on... I don't even know. But that's what happened in storyline.
Okay.
Ric Flair found El Nino when he was out drinking with Chavo.
So they were not in cahoots.
No.
Rey Mysterio pulled a fast one.
He was trying to give Chavo an easy win. Okay. But in fact, Chavo was beaten to set up their pay-per-view match, which was already booked before they did this angle. The show sucks. It's fucking terrible.
Lance Storm and Mike Awesome come out for a promo.
When did Mike Austin become a body guy?
I love when Lance Storm came out with Mike Awesome, and they're doing their promo, and Shad appears on the big screen to announce the match. So in storyline, Lance and Mike Awesome just came out.
Yeah, for a promo, yes.
They were going to just come out and do the anthem.
Yes.
And they were surprised to be wrestling the Natural Born Thrillers.
Yes, he says, no one wants to hear your stupid song. You're going to wrestle these guys instead. And out come Sean O'Hare and Chuck Palumbo, the World Tag Team Champions. Now,
This was the very definition of something going off a cliff. Because for the first half, it went like this, and then it went...
well, I'll tell you the exact point. I'll tell you the exact point it went off the cliff. First of all, the punishment... now, it was a non-title match, to be fair, but still, your punishment, because no one wants to hear your song, is a chance to beat the World Tag Team Champions and earn a title shot. So, Mike Awesome and Sean O'Hare are a perfect match as a pair of huge, very athletic wrestlers who often had zero idea what the hell they were doing from one moment to the next. Chuck Palumbo was not quite as athletic at them, but way more level-headed, but still very, very green here. And then you have Lance Storm, pro wrestler.
He's trying so hard.
When Lance was in, and they got the heat on him, so a good chunk of the match, when he was in there, it was a very good TV tag match. And then he makes a hot tag to Mike Awesome, who, as I said, has no idea what he's going to do from one move to the next, and a train wreck ensued. My favorite part is, they cut Awesome off for a while, and he makes his comeback, and not only does he not make a tag during his comeback, he goes to his corner and goes to the top rope, and Lance has to get out of his way. Lance has to go around the post to clear a room so Awesome can do his move.
Let's talk about what they meant to do.
Okay.
The finish is that Lance gets blinded. Mm-hmm. He puts the half crab on his own fucking partner.
Yes.
Elix Skipper has to tell him you've got the hold on the wrong guy. Keep in mind, he's holding on to Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome can't tell him. A guy 15 feet away has to tell him. Lance lets go, and then Sean hits the senton on Mike Awesome, pins him.
I think, in all seriousness, O'Hare hit the senton and then forgot he had to pin the guy.
That's possible.
Because he hits the senton, rolls through, and begins to pose and flex and roar, and Palumbo has to approach him and gesture, go pin him.
Well, maybe he wasn't the legal man.
I don't know.
I'm only speculating, but do you think Lance got blinded in this match because he got blinded legit the week before with the hot
So
stuff?
someone had hot stuff in the corner? I don't know.
I don't know.
All I know is this was wacky.
It was, I will say this for this match, it was spectacular.
It was definitely something to see.
Yes. Except Lance, who couldn't see it. So Stasiak and Jindrak, who are also in the Natural Born Thrillers, but feuding with the other Natural Born Thrillers, they are upset by this, but they vow to win the tag titles at the pay-per-view.
All right, allow me.
God.
He's getting prepped for this.
Crush versus Buff.
You want to stretch?
I wrote the same thing.
This sounds awful, I wrote.
Well,
In fact, it was awful. So, it's like they forgot The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin are on the other channel. They're doing this goddamn fucking terrible match, and you'll never guess what happens. After doing a stipulation where Wrath, whatever his fucking name is, Wrath was injured, and so we're going to have a no substitutions match in 3 weeks. Okay? Maybe he can make it back. Maybe he can't. We'll have to wait and see.
on the edge
Fucking Wrath returns on this show.
And he's fine.
He runs in. He's totally fine. He attacks Luger. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Animal runs down. They're brawling. Crush hits a choke slam on Buff. The referee calls for the bell. I'm baffled. The ref then goes,
Bryan is tapping his watch.
Because 19 years ago this week, they knew that you had asked me, why are you pointing and looking at your watch? Do you remember this?
I do, actually.
How fucking crazy is that?
Yes.
The ref looks at his fucking watch.
He did.
That's how he tells the time. He does it on his own watch.
He's got a Timex, yes.
So anyway, they announce time limit draw. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so that's the bullshit that happened on television. In real life, this match went 5 minutes. It was supposed to be a 10-minute time limit.
Oh, my.
Okay. So apparently, it was actually supposed to go 10 minutes.
Oh.
Which, by the way, somebody thought,
I did not need this match to go twice as long as it did.
Crush versus Buff, let's have them go 10 minutes to a draw. Okay. So the match is supposed to go 10 minutes, but apparently, like, they were running low on time. And so they decided, of all the matches to cut time on, let's cut time on the time limit draw they were trying to establish as a new finish.
Oh, my gosh. Well, that's a new one.
So this was...
Don't even say anything other than fucking goddamn awful.
No, I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. I just want to add a few reasons it was so fucking goddamn awful that you cannot capture. And you're the only one man, Bryan. Can't handle all the overload
No.
bullshit. So
It's a handicap match. WCW versus me.
as Wrath is laying waste to Lex Luger at ringside, they suddenly cut back to the ring and it's mid-move. So I can't tell exactly what happened, but it appears that Buff Bagwell grabbed Bryan Adams for his Kenta Kobashi DDT, Scott Hudson calls it, and then legitimately tried to drive his head into the mat as hard as he possibly could. Because you hear a bump, and like at that time they cut to the ring, and Adams is on his toes and forehead, and no other part of his body's in the mat. All of Buff's weight is on top of Adams' head, and his neck is cranked to the side at a very terrible angle. It looked like a legit attempt to murder someone with an actual DDT. Animal was also out there. When this ended, I was like, there's no way that was 10 minutes, but I can't possibly go back and check that whole horror show. And like a minute went by and I said, I've got to check. So I can't be certain because I don't think there was an opening bell, but I timed it at 5 minutes, 30 seconds.
That's what it was.
And totally buffed are left standing tall at the end. Flair and the crew give Steiner a pep talk as he prepares for his third match of the evening, where he is defending Flair's job and his title against two men.
May I tackle this Crush promo? Because I wrote it down word for word.
I only wrote down the best line.
Go good. So, first off, they blow off there's going to be an issue leading up to the pay-per-view. And Crush says, and I quote, "You can do whatever you want to us. You can keep beating us down. All you're doing is making us stronger. We're going to keep coming and coming and getting worse and worse. Just like a bad dream."
Yes. That is what the man said.
Crying.
Word for word. That's what he said.
He will be getting worse and worse on the road to this pay-per-view.
That is a bad dream.
You know, he's not wrong.
He challenges Lex to a singles match on Thunder, and he finishes. And Gene says, "Well, about that match," Adam says, "I gotta go. I think my partner's hurt." And he runs away. Was he not hurt when you started this promo?
It's fair.
Nash goes for a walk. Steiner goes for a walk. And then Scott Steiner versus Kevin Nash and a mystery partner with the World Championship and Ric Flair's job as CEO on the line. Nash says, Nash comes out for a promo. He says, "In the Wolfpack days, I spent a lot of time with K-Dog." Okay, so K-Dog's going to be his partner. Fine. K-Dog always talked about familia. Well, my partner tonight is familia. It's your familia. It's Rick Steiner. Because even the announcement has to be a swerve.
All right, so just to recap, Scott Steiner, top heel, signed to work 3 matches this evening. A 1-on-4 handicap match, a match with a DDP, and a 1-on-2 handicap match with his title on the line.
Yes.
They then proceed to do a match where he's just fighting valiantly against 2 men.
Yes. He's the best babyface ever.
So they start out as just like 2-on-1, and then it breaks down into a match where tags are needed. Who cares?
I don't know.
You'll never guess the finish, everybody.
Oh, I bet they will.
I mean, let's think of what they did to Scott Steiner, how they booked him on this show. And you need to come up with a finish that's going to make sure that he outsmarts everybody and makes every single babyface look dumb.
So Kevin Nash, who is still getting the title shot at the pay-per-view, he's in there with the champion, who has already wrestled twice, and he has a partner, and he's still getting beat. Why would you ever buy a pay-per-view to watch this man challenge for the title now, when it's very, very clear he's not in Steiner's league? Nash then begins to make his comeback. His comeback actually, that's not quite true. Rick Steiner gets a cheap shot on Scott from the apron. That gives Nash an opportunity to make his comeback. So Nash is running wild. He does all his stuff. He grabs Scott, he hits the powerbomb, he makes a cover, and Rick Steiner is in the ring celebrating. And the ref counts 1, and the ref counts 2, and Rick Steiner drops a elbow. A single, lone, solitary elbow smash on Kevin Nash. And Nash rolls over, and Scott climbs on top of him, and the ref counts 3. Now, in case
Why isn't the elbow his new finisher?
you thought Kevin Nash had a prayer of beating Scott Steiner at the pay-per-view, he can get pinned with a elbow.
Oh, yeah. That's something Scott needs to work on. Because Scott does that same elbow, but then he does push-ups.
I guess
right.
I hadn't thought
So
of
he
that.
needs to be trained to not do push-ups. Drop that elbow and make a cover.
So the goal of this segment was to see how Steiner can get better.
Yeah. This was a really dumb show.
This is very, very dumb. And as weird as that Raw main event was, this was 1,000 times weirder. And 1,000 times worse as well.
God.
And then, because Nitro can never just end, the Steiners are together and leaving. Nash calls them back to fight. Paige runs out with a chair. And then the show ends.
Ready?
Ready when you are.
It's a dramatic pause.
The finishes on this show were triple submission in a 1-on-4 handicap match. Clean pin. DQ due to attack on ref. Clean pin. Clean pin after a guy accidentally puts his own partner in a submission hold. Time limit draw in a match that did not go the time limit. And pin after the champion beats up the challenger and another guy for 10 minutes, and then the challenger gets pinned after one move.
For one elbow.
One elbow.
Thank God we're done with this for a week.
This is going to be nice
Dude.
to not have to watch Raw and Nitro for 7
God
days.
help me. All right. We're done for the day. Rob, I'm giving you 1 point. Yes. So you and Ken will be tied if Ken gets 1 point on Thursday. Do not try to sabotage him.
Look at me.
This is not WCW. He's trying to do the math.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you give Ken a point the other night?
Nah, it wasn't really a point. I was just praising him.
It's like a half
Yeah.
point.
He needs
I
to
see.
go a full week to get his point.
Okay.
So Sunday is half a point. Yeah.
That puts Ken at a disadvantage then. He's got to make it through 2 shows.
Yes.
Didn't I just say that at the beginning of the show, Craig?
Yeah, he did.
Where have you been? That's the whole point. Ken has to do 10 successful shows. Rob has to do 5.
I can't keep track.
Okay.
It's a
Oh
weekly
my
thing,
God.
not a numbers thing.
Yes.
Just gotta...
Vinny's done.
This is 2 shows in a row that have ended with you just out on a limb or whatever. Just crazy.
Watching old...
Yes, Rob?
I was going to say, Vinny is at this point is like Randy Orton after Edge eliminated him the other night. Bah!
We are watching Nitro in its death rattle. This will drive a man mad.
Well, it's making you dumber too.
Yes.
All right. At least we all agree. All right, we're out of time, everybody. We'll talk to you again after a while.
Good night.
Bye. Nitro number 178, February 8th, 1999. So, we didn't mention this last week because it was just too uncomfortable to get into, but they replayed it here, and it was brought to our attention. So last week, they actually replayed this. Hulk Hogan and Chuck Zito are sitting in the back of a limo, and they're being filmed, and Chuck says to the cameraman, "Careful, your camera's getting jiggly." To which Hulk Hogan follows up by saying, "Jiggly, jiggly, Jew." Now, I was hoping that it meant like J-O-O, and he was just spouting gibberish, but no, apparently the cameraman was in fact Jewish. And as Dave wrote about at the time, Hogan got heat for this, but not so much heat that they didn't replay it a week later.
I honestly God didn't even notice because Hogan's in a limo with Chuck Zito. and they're both mumbling
Yeah.
and just nothing.
Yeah.
They're just mumbling for an hour about nothing. I zoned all of it out. Then I go on the board the next day and I realized, wow, look what we missed.
Yeah. So they did a whole show-long storyline
Yes.
about Hulk Hogan and Chuck Zito threatening David Flair.
Yes.
Following him around Charlotte, threatening to kick his ass in the gym, and then the cliffhanger was they turned their camera off just as Nitro ended, and Ric Flair didn't know if they were going to kill his son David or not.
Yes.
That's right.
We tune in a week later. No attack.
No.
All mind games.
Okay, now
Just
hold
fucking
on.
with him.
Hold on. I don't want to give any spoilers here, okay? But
19 years later.
sometimes they do things and then like it's just dropped the next week, okay? This week they said that nothing happened. And then later Arn Anderson is on the phone with Ric Flair.
Well, it was actually earlier. It was from Thunder. But
Yeah,
yes.
whatever. But anyway, they show the clip and basically David claimed he also saw nothing.
I missed that detail.
Yes. So there's a storyline here. It wasn't just dropped.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll learn more later.
To continue.
Yes.
To be continued.
But I will tell you what did suck about this show that you haven't mentioned yet. So this was the first week
Just started.
that this show became Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
They had a whole bunch of backstage skits, and the goddamn announcers couldn't see them.
No.
But we could.
Yes.
So, like, we saw what was going on, but the announcers had no idea what was happening backstage. So they're clueless about half the stuff happening on the show. They can't explain it. They can't tell us what's happening. They don't even know what's going on. This is very important, by the way.
The Nitro girls danced. DDP was hanging nearby to assure Scott Steiner to not attack them.
Yes.
Disco Inferno went into the Wolfpack locker room where they had laid out Arn Anderson so Disco could get revenge for the beating Arn gave him last week. Remember this. You, the viewer at home, were playing pool. I wrote here a cameraman.
This is a porn clip. Come to
Or
life.
yes, this was Tori Wilson making her Nitro debut in a POV porn shoot.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
She's looking at the camera saying, hey, you.
What you see...
Hey, you.
Yeah, she's pointing at the camera.
Yeah.
Well, even before that, you see your own hands playing pool.
Yeah.
And then Tori Wilson walks up to you in a bar. It happens to me all the time. Women like Tori come up and talk to me. And she talks about what happened last week was cool and they should go outside. And so you, the viewer, follow her.
Yeah. Now, obviously, in real life, it's not us, the viewer. But we
Right.
don't know who it is.
No. And by the end of the show, we don't.
Yeah.
I think I remember how it goes down.
And this is supposed to be like a sport,
Yeah.
but somehow they're doing some wacky story where we're getting a point of view shot of Tori Wilson
Yeah.
talking to us. But it's not us.
Which does sound better than most
And we
Nitros.
never find out who it is.
No.
Although we will.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Speaking of Nitro debuts.
Let's go for a ride, she says.
Yes. You're out for a ride. Blitzkrieg versus Rey Mysterio Jr. I don't know who was in charge of the graphics in Nitro, but for the record, it was spelled BLITZCREIG.
It's named after Craig.
That's not how you spell my
He
name.
was a West Coast guy.
So, for those of you who don't remember or don't know, Blitzkrieg was a SoCal indie guy, and from his gear, you could tell he was an indie guy.
That's right.
I'm pretty sure he sewed his outfit himself.
That's utterly believable.
Yeah. It was horrific.
It was awful. He was very, very talented. He was in WCW for like 3 months, and then decided he didn't like wrestling and quit and was never seen again.
It
You
was
know-
longer than that because we actually saw him in at Spring Stampede.
That
it
was
was about a
spring
year.
99, wasn't it?
Oh, wow, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, so about 3 months, like I said.
I apologize, Vinny.
So, you know who he
accept it.
reminded me of was Jack Evans when he started.
Is that right?
He's a
What a
very,
coincidence.
very, very athletic guy.
Yes.
He killed himself on every bump.
Yes.
He could not lock up.
His fundamentals were
He
awful.
had no fundamentals, but he could be carried to a good match.
He was very, very talented, utterly self-taught. Watched a lot of Tiger Mask tapes. Didn't learn everything.
If I didn't know better, I would think it was Jack.
Well, it was later.
That's true.
Because
Yeah.
That's right. He did become
Jack was a huge Blitzkrieg
too,
fan.
Yeah.
And when Blitzkrieg quit, Jack bought his gear.
Well, goddamn.
He still, as far as I know.
He lived up to the reputation
Yes.
and exceeded it.
So they had a very fun, high-flying match. As long as they were doing flips and dives, it was cool. When they had to do grapples and punching, it sucked.
Yep.
Half of it sucked. And eventually, Blitzkrieg missed a moonsault. Ray hit a top rope Rana for the win.
You know, I was watching this match, and this is no disrespect to Blitzkrieg, because he was a great athlete. He did great flips, and he took great bumps. But it was very obvious, like, Rey Mysterio is just, like, an all-time great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, looking at these two guys, you could see why Rey Mysterio became an all-time great. And like, throughout the history of the next 19 years, they took a bunch of dudes and put masks on them and tried to give them little pushes here and there. And none of them got over like Ray.
No.
Because Ray was special.
Yes.
He had a great fucking match with this guy.
Yes, he did.
It was awesome. And Larry's there talking about how these guys would be better off going over Niagara Falls in a barrel. That's how you're getting over Blitzkrieg his first night.
They're
fucking doing stupid shit. They'd be better off going over a waterfall.
There was 2 Niagara Falls references in one in each show this week. I don't know if you caught that.
What was the one on Raw?
I don't remember, but I remember it was there.
Sure, it wasn't Viagra Falls in the Val Venus segment.
I watched the episode of Grand Tour last night where they went to Niagara Falls too.
Oh,
that's relevant only to me.
Understood.
Had a hype video for the Ray, Conan, Luger, Nash mask versus hair match at Super Bowl.
God.
And more to add to that, or
no?
Okay.
It's dumb.
Well, speaking of dumb, Canyon went to Raven's house.
You know what I love about this?
No.
So apparently, like, Raven's doing the thing where he's depressed and he never wrestles.
Sure.
And remember, I was starting to get mad about it. Like, are we going anywhere with this fucking thing?
Yes, you were.
Well, apparently Nash hated it too. Okay. And then he took over and he was like, we got to kill this. And so he came up with this, a new character for Raven.
Oh, he came up with this.
Yeah, this was like his wacky idea to change the Raven character.
Yeah, the idea.
Why didn't you just change it?
The idea here wasn't the worst ever. It was mostly the execution. So, Raven says hello to, Mama Raven says hello to Chris. She's still very worried about Scotty, but she has to leave.
He's very depressed.
Yes.
Chris.
So she leaves, and Chris goes to take care of Scotty. Hey, Rave, he says. You gotta snap out of your funk. At this point, Raven looks backwards over his shoulder to his own personal camera that apparently only he can see.
Yes.
And we can see, but Canyon can't see it.
Or the announcers.
Or the announcers.
Should add.
And Raven says, what a mark.
What a mark.
His exact words. And he turns to Canyon, explains how great it is to be rich. They go into his garage. He's got all these cool convertibles. Canyon asks, how come we always drive crappy cars? Raven says it drives his mom crazy, and they get in a convertible, and they drive away.
It was a Lamborghini, by the way. It wasn't just a convertible.
I was not, even though I watched the Grand Tour, which is a car show, I didn't know that. But thank you.
Sure.
Okay, Booker T versus Finlay.
Oh, God.
So they're doing this match. It's going on for some time.
It was a good match.
Of course it was.
Let's get that out of the way
It's Booker
first.
T and Finlay.
Yes.
Of course it was. And suddenly, we go backstage where Hulk Hogan is having a chat with Horace.
It's different, Vinny. So this is what I was talking about earlier. The announcers say, we got to go to a break. But they don't go to a break. Mm-hmm. They go backstage for this goofy skit.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you talk about the skits, but they go to a skit. They go to commercial.
Yeah.
They come back with another skit. And then they go back to the ring. The announcers are oblivious to any of the skits.
Yes.
It's so fucking awkward. Like, we missed 10 minutes of this match.
Yes.
And it happened multiple times on this show.
Yeah. So, okay, they're in the match. The announcers say we're going to a break. Instead, we go to Hulk Hogan and Horace, who have like a 3-minute skit. It's not like a little 2
Went on forever.
Yep.
Hogan explains he wants Horace to take over leadership of the Black and White. But don't tell anyone.
Yeah, so hold on a second. Hogan's plan is, I want you to be the leader, but don't tell the other guys.
Right.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you do that?
I don't know.
How?
I don't know.
I want you to be the leader, so like go out there and lead, but don't tell them that you're the leader.
Right.
This is a bad plan.
Are you certain you hated Raw more than this show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Well, I will soon. So we go to commercial, not knowing what happened in the match. We come back. There's another skit. A completely unrelated skit. Mm-hmm. Ric Flair has put Eric Bischoff to work cleaning the bathroom. They go over this for a while.
By the way, it took Vinny about 2 seconds to say that.
Right.
It took him 10 minutes
Yes.
to get through Flair telling Eric Bischoff to clean out the goddamn bathroom.
Yeah. And after all this, we go back to the ring where the match is still going on. Now, you said earlier it was a good match. And what we saw of it was, and I can confirm, Booker T made his big comeback and everyone went crazy. He won with a missile dropkick. I can confirm the ending was good and the beginning was good. We missed at least half this match.
That's true, but you know what? The beginning and the end of this match that we saw was better than anything on Raw.
That's probably true.
So it was a better
wrestling,
show.
for sure, yeah.
Well, they blew a ton of spots, but after they blew them, they ended up hitting each other really, really hard.
Yeah, I liked it.
Especially the one where Booker T tried to leapfrog Finlay. He came up short and landed on Finlay's shoulder.
I think that was the heat.
Yeah.
No, they planned it that way.
No.
Yeah.
There's no
Because
way.
he hit the leapfrog once, and then Finlay comes right back under. He does the leapfrog again.
I don't know.
He's going to do back-to-back leapfrogs for no reason.
Maybe.
I think he's going to do a leapfrog. He landed on Finlay's shoulder, hurt his nuts, and Finlay beat him up.
Actually, it is a famous spot to do 2 leapfrogs, but...
All right. I've been wrong before.
Anyway, besides that, it was a cool match. They hit each other really hard. It was
Did
awesome.
hit each other really hard, as you would expect Booker T and Finlay to do. Raven and his Inhumans t-shirt were at the bank to get some money.
Yes.
Some.
Specifically, $10,000 in ones, and then $10,000 more in big bills.
And how come we didn't see where the ones were spent?
We kind of did. I will get to that later.
Okay.
Canyon says, why would anyone need $10,000 in $1 bills?
Yes. And
Canyon is a mark.
Every time
He
Canyon,
is a mark.
throughout the every
Raven
time
was right.
every time in these skits, Canyon would say something stupid. Raven would look into his own camera, the only we and him saw, and he'd say something like, "What an idiot! What a mark!" He would just roll his eyes or whatever.
Breaking down the fourth wall.
It was like the fifth wall, really.
That's
'cause
true.
That's true. The fact this skit alone exists is the fourth wall. This.
And then the teller goes, I'll give you the 10,000 in big bills the way you like it.
Well, twice. There was two.
And I'm like,
separate
how can you not like 10,000 in $1 bills if that's how you're going to spend it? You'll be there for weeks.
Maybe.
Maybe how you like it. Anyway, they leave the bank. They are literally carrying giant sacks of money over their shoulder.
Yeah.
I was sad because they didn't have the big dollar sign on it like I've been told
I would
all
like
my
to.
childhood.
In my imagination, that was just the side that was on their back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they get in the hot convertible with a big bags of money, and drive away.
The only thing missing when they drove off, a couple of dollar bills fly out the back, you know.
That actually would.
Raven says, Canyon, we need to get you a new look.
Raven says this.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong.
Jimmy Hart and the Faces of Fear were soiling the bathrooms to make Bischoff's life worse.
So stupid.
Hogan met with Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
He says, "I want you to take over the black and white, but don't tell anybody."
Yes. Then he laughs
This may sound familiar.
because the camera's invisible.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Clearly, the black and white doesn't watch Nitro.
The leader is sowing discord.
I guess we're supposed to believe that if they watched the show, this wouldn't be on it.
I don't know.
Because the announcers can't see it. It's stupid.
I'm not going to try to make sense of this. It is, in fact, stupid. Mm-hmm. Mean Gene brings out Ric Flair for a promo.
Better than anything on Raw.
True.
Now,
With one exception.
so Gene, like the only guy who actually knows what's going on throughout this and trying desperately to make everything make sense. Before Rick can speak, Gene says, "I know we all saw Arn Anderson backstage, and I know he told you to deliver a message to the NWO." So in Gene's mind, because Ric Flair would not see his friend being tortured on TV and hang out for 20 minutes and then come out and talk like nothing happened. So Gene is doing his best to tell the viewer that Arn was rescued and now Rick's here to talk about it.
Went over my head. I got a better question. What the hell's a match at Super Brawl?
Ric Flair and Hogan.
No, the Bret Hart match.
It was going to be based, well, that's what he talked about here.
I know. I could not understand a word he said. All I know is the Hall match is off,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, the match was the main event last week.
Yeah.
He just canceled it.
Yeah.
After he signed
Last
it.
week in the main event, Scott Hall beat Chris Benoit for
Okay.
a U.S. title shot.
Right. Yeah.
Here in his first segment back, he took that title shot away because he doesn't like Scott Hall.
Okay, so who's getting it?
Maybe no one by the end of this.
Okay. Because he explains that Hall isn't getting the shot, and Bret has to accept the match,
Sure.
or he has to drop the title and go back to Canada. but I couldn't figure out who's getting the match.
See, you were paying attention to that part that didn't make sense. I was paying attention to how Ric Flair had no idea what happened to Arn Anderson. Clearly, that skit was not part of his day.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It was like they knew that somebody was going to win the title later. Weird.
No.
Sure.
No.
Because why would they give Brett a match? Because if he was going to lose the title later on in the night.
Listen, I'm glad Brian enjoyed this show, this promo. I got nothing out of it except confusion and bewilderment.
Okay, here's what I got out of it, okay? So, Flair vows to win the title. He threatens to strip naked.
True.
Says he's going to tap out Hogan with the figure 4. That's all clear, right?
I agree with that.
Then we got this goofy Super Brawl thing where Hall is no longer getting a title shot.
Mm-hmm.
Brett has to defend against somebody,
Sure.
okay? Maybe somebody was named. Maybe Flair forgot. Gene didn't seem to know. The announcers didn't know. But one way or the other, Brett must defend at Super Brawl or he will be stripped of the title. So Brett comes out and he doesn't want to drop the title.
Why would
So
he?
he's going to face whoever it is at Super Brawl, who we don't know, and Gene doesn't know, and the announcers don't know, and Flair forgot. And so Flair says, well, you're going to be wrestling tonight against Rowdy Roddy Piper. Place goes absolutely crazy. They're chanting Hot Rod. Flair's out of his mind, sweat's flying. I mean, it was better than on Raw, but I have no idea what he was talking about. That's fair.
Getting back to my original point. Gene says, I know Arn told you to say something, and Flair says, that's right, Arn told me to tell it like it is. He's smiling and happy because he doesn't know about the skit.
That's right.
They did.
But I don't think Gene knows either.
Gene brought it up. He must have known something.
Gene got information earlier in the day before Arn got beaten up.
All right.
It doesn't matter.
The point is we're all confused and have no idea what the hell Flair was talking about.
Well, I do know I saw Will Sasso there.
That's also true. Brett is leaving the ring. He is shouting at fans, and he gets into it with Will Sasso, who none of you could possibly know who it is in 2018. He's not famous still, is he?
Actually, when I saw Will Sasso, he was so fat.
He was a large man.
He looked to be in his 40s. I had to check to see if he was still alive. I know that sounds terrible.
And that's a wrestling show. It's a very fair question.
Okay, number 1, he is still alive.
Good.
Number 2, he is still doing things in entertainment.
Okay.
Okay? He's 42 right now.
Oh,
He's younger than I am.
so he was 20. He's my age.
He's our age.
He was 23 here?
Yeah.
Huh.
That is inconceivable. Dude!
That was a big,
And
fat, old 23-year-old.
He has lost weight.
Good.
He's still fat, but he
He's
looked
up 400 pounds.
he looked like 800 pounds here.
Well,
The irony is that I was listening to Wrestling Observer last night,
Oh yeah, here's another one of them.
and somebody asked the question, who was the biggest celebrity that drew the most money? And Dave actually...
No, the question was like, who are the successes, who are the failures?
Right. And Dave brings up Will Sasso.
Yeah.
Last night.
Completely at random.
nutty.
And now here he
So
is.
weird.
19 years ago this week.
For those of you still asking who he is, there was a show called Mad TV. It was a sketch comedy show. He was on it, and I guess Brett was on it once.
Dude, think about this. Like 5 years ago, he was on Raw. Because he was Curly of the Three Stooges.
What?
And he was one of the guest hosts.
That's right, he
What?
was. I do remember that now. When the Three Stooges, yes. They did a Three Stooges movie, and that was him. Good work, Brian.
Thank you. Crazy.
Well, here in 1999, Brett gets in his face, and Tony Schiavone says, look, Brett is having an argument with Will Sasso. And Larry Zbyszko says, who is it?
Right.
Way to put your star over, Larry. Way to get the celebrity over.
An idiot.
Back to the point of view porn shoot. Tori is in a limo with you, and she tells you she won't bite too much.
My favorite part of this is I kept just writing, Tori Wilson continues to seduce us. Mm-hmm. And then like 3 segments later, she actually said, what, do you think I'm trying to seduce you?
Yes,
It
yes,
sure
I
felt
do.
that way. Had a tag team tournament video package highlighting great teams of the past, going over all the teams that are in this tournament. This was pretty cool and would have been really good to air before the tournament started.
Yeah, last week.
It's been several weeks.
They started it last week, didn't they?
It started and stopped quite a few times.
Okay.
They did say the finals would be at Super Bowl.
And now it's a double elimination now.
They've made it very clear it's been a double elimination tournament. God. Hulk Hogan met with Stevie...
By the way, I'm sorry. You know, it was funny because last week Benoit and Malenko lost that match
That was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then this week, Flair turns it into double elimination so he can get his boys back in the tournament.
It's been double elimination for a while.
Okay.
I've mentioned it a few times.
My bad.
I accept your apology.
I didn't say sorry.
Oh my God, Hennig and Wyndham versus Bryan Adams
No,
and
you're
Horace.
skipping something.
Oh,
Hogan and Stevie Ray.
that's right.
Hogan meets Stevie Ray and says, I want you to lead the black and white, but don't tell anybody.
That's right. Keep it a secret.
And all these dipshits keep falling for this. I'll be a secret leader.
What's his grand plan here?
Fuck with people.
Yeah.
I see.
So, you get Horace and Bryan Adams versus Kurt Hennig and Barry Windham.
So, do you know, fun fact, on the sheet in the back, they gave this match 20 minutes.
Excuse me?
And by the grace of God, Ric Flair talked too long, and so they had to cut their time.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Good.
Can you fucking imagine?
Well, let's talk about what happened and imagine it going on for twice as long. First of all, once again, in the middle of the match, they cut backstage for a skit.
Yes.
The luchadors are complaining to Bischoff there is no lotion in the bathroom. Again, this took me 3 seconds to say, and they stretched it out over like 5 minutes.
So there were a bunch of luchadors in the bathroom
Yes,
looking for lotion.
that's what happened.
But they gave him aftershave.
Okay.
Don't think about it too deeply.
Fair enough.
They go to commercial. They come back. I was very disappointed to see the match was going on. They should have just stayed with the luchadors. I promise it would have been more entertaining. This fucking match. It's going on.
Wasn't the worst match on the show.
It was the worst match in this segment.
It was the worst match in this match.
Yes.
You're right about that.
It's terrible. It's going on forever. And then they get to the end. Okay. Vince comes for Horace and Bryan Adams have both been given the speech, I want you to be in charge, as has Stevie Ray.
Yes.
Right.
Out comes Vince, who has not gotten the speech yet. Out comes Stevie Ray, who has also gotten the speech. Adams and Horace hit a stuffed pile driver. Wyndham takes the ref. Bryan Adams makes a cover. And then nothing happens for a long time.
I love, by the way, that Bryan Adams cannot do a pile driver to save his fucking life.
Right.
And as a team, they're going to use a stuffed pile driver for the finish.
And they let Adams do it.
So I went back and timed it. Bryan Adams had Kurt Hennig pinned for 24 seconds.
It's a fucking stuffed pile driver, dude.
And for most of
been
those
down
24
for
seconds,
years.
he's just looking at the ref. He's not complaining. He's not waving for the ref. He's just lying there.
He's covering him the whole time.
So eventually, Vincent jumps in the apron with a slapjack. Stevie Ray jumps in the apron and says, "Hey, that's mine." He grabs it from Vince. Vince falls down. Stevie swings the slapjack. Hennig dodges. Adams gets hit. Hennig makes a cover. The ref counts 3.
Is that convoluted enough for you?
I got it.
Like it was forget about that. The timing on this was so atrocious.
Yeah.
I would assume everyone was out of position because clearly nobody was doing the right thing.
Well, let's see. We had Bryan Adams, Horace, Vincent, and fucking Stevie Ray.
Are you
No
implying
shit, they were all out of position?
It may not have been Mr. Perfect's fault.
Jesus Christ. This was terrible.
This was an atrocity.
Better than anything on Raw.
Tori told us.
They had a goddamn finish. I can't wait till you go over to the finishes on Raw.
Oh, they're special. I'm not denying that. They are special.
Dude. That had to set a record for the most bullshit finishes on a single show ever. When you count the gauntlet,
if you count the
where
gauntlet,
every fucking finish was a DQ.
I'm sure it was then.
Jeez.
Tori told us we had nothing to be nervous about. Excuse me, she told you, the viewer, that you had nothing to be nervous about and invited you into an elevator.
Yeah.
Then she looked at you and bit her lip in anticipation. She was the best part of the show, let's be honest. Hogan met with Vince. Now, if you're not paying attention, and I don't blame you for not, 5 minutes ago, Vince was laid out in a brawl with the rest of the NWO guys.
Yes.
Now he's here meeting with Hogan.
Yeah.
Hogan gives him a message. I want you to take over the black and white, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Vince says, cool. And he leaves.
Now, the comedy in these things, every time the camera comes back to Hogan, He's polishing his belt
He's polishing his belt.
every single time.
He would polish his belt when they came in, and then after they left, he would laugh at them for being so stupid.
He polishes the belt that they defaced with spray paint.
Right.
Yeah. Just want to make that clear.
Mean Gene brings Bam Bam Bigelow out for a promo.
This was a good promo.
You know what's funny
Great
is...
segment, actually.
Well, it turned out great. Like, at the beginning, nobody cared
Yeah.
when he's talking, but... The thing with Bigelow is, when he first showed up, his feud with Goldberg was so hot. But they were in the middle of Goldberg and Nash and Goldberg and Hall, so they couldn't pull the trigger on this thing. So it just kind of fizzled. So I got to give credit to mostly Bigelow and Goldberg, not the actual fucking company, but Bigelow comes out, nobody gives a shit. All he has to say is he compares Goldberg's imaginary wife to a dog.
Yeah.
And Goldberg, just 8 feet wide, storms down to the ring
Like a
and
freight train.
beats the shit out of this guy, and they have this great brawl. And by the time they were done, like, it was hot again. Mm-hmm. This was better than anything on Raw.
Right. That's for sure.
Thank you.
So the point of the promo was there was a story in USA Today about Bill Goldberg's animal rights activism. Specifically, Bam Bam noted he's too distracted to focus on the match because he's obsessed with cockfighting. And he says this, and Gene pulls back the mic and says, "You're talking about chickens and roosters." Apparently, Gene thought one person at home he thought he was talking about something else.
Yes, there's 2 men in the alley naked. Yeah, I could see it.
So Bam Bam goes on and says, "Goldberg, if you're so concerned about animals, I'll adopt an animal. I'll take your old lady. I'll put her on a leash, feed her elbow, take her for walks." And as noted, Goldberg came out pissed off. They had an outstanding brawl and it was broken up. That was a great segment. Mm-hmm. So Paige is watching the Nitro Girls again, just making sure they're safe.
This was like some chick walks up.
Well, yes, they went to commercial in the middle.
Yes.
And then they come back. Paige is somewhere else hanging out with Jason Hervey.
Yes.
So
I think this was supposed to be something that was filmed elsewhere.
Okay.
All I know is up walks Rita Sever.
Okay, I didn't get her name.
Do you know how much Googling I had to do to find out who this woman was?
More than I did.
A lot! So apparently the show was called Later, and there's a period in the mid-90s where they just had a whole bunch of different guest hosts,
I see.
and one of them was her.
Okay.
I see.
She, like, did nothing else that I can find. Like, she has an IMDb that's empty. I mean, so he's going to be on her show, and she says, "Hey, check out my wrestling promo."
Right.
It's a combination of Ric Flair, Randy Savage, and Hulk Hogan. I'm not even going to try.
Thank you.
It was the most cringe-worthy thing you've ever seen in your entire life. It's so embarrassing. And she must know, because as soon as she does a Ric Flair woo, she's out of there. Just gets off screen as fast as she can. And then Diamond Dallas Page, who, by the way, is married to Kimberly and is in a major storyline about a guy trying to steal his wife,
Yeah.
basically looks at the camera and goes, "It's hot."
Yeah.
That happened. That all happened.
She was no Kimberly Page.
No.
She was really cute, but
She was fine. But it was funny because they cut back to the announcers. The announcers are touting all of the publicity that WCW is getting all over the world. And then I didn't know who this woman was until Brian explained who it was.
oh, now you know. Rita Sever.
I described her as some woman.
I would bet that... never mind. DDP and Chaos.
Kenny Chaos versus Dallas Page. There's nothing wrong with this match, but it went longer than Kenny Chaos and DDP needed to go.
Yes.
It was DDP's fatal flaw, that he must have a good match with everybody,
Yeah.
even if they're a geek.
Yeah.
There's no reason to have a 5-minute back-and-forth match with Chaos.
No. He won with a diving cutter.
Yeah, it was cool.
By he, I mean Page, in case you're confused.
Yes.
Raven took Kanyon to Versace. Or as Kanyon called it, Versace.
Yeah.
Which caused Raven to look at his magical personal camera and call him a maroon.
Raven was such a geek here, and Canyon was even a bigger geek.
So they go in to buy some fancy clothes. Canyon's pants are too big, and he's got some other wacky outfit. And then the attendant pulls the curtain back, and Canyon's there in his underwear, and he's all embarrassed. They did at least leave the store in nice clothes, because throughout this entire segment, Raven's been Raven in his sleeveless Inhumans t-shirt and his jorts. Here he had some fancy-ass shirt and pants on, and Canyon was all dressed up too. So we go to commercial, and they come back, and we see a bunch of signs. For a long time, I had no idea where this was going until the very end. But there's like a pool hall. We just see the neon sign.
That was them out on the town.
Dance clubs,
Yep.
bars.
I see.
They went club hopping. And then
With $20,000 in large and small bills.
well, do you need the small bills? Because the very last place they went was the Gold Club. Yes, that Gold Club.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. It was. That's
It's a big
Craig is
scandal
confused.
in the 90s.
In the 1990s, there was a gentleman's club in Atlanta called the Gold Club, which was frequented by pro baseball players and football players and basketball players and professional wrestlers.
And wrestlers.
Yeah.
Later, many people involved in the management of this club were indicted on all sorts of really bad federal charges, and this because of this trial, many rich and famous athletes were called in to testify, including NBA star Patrick Ewing, who said under oath about what happened there. The girls danced, started fondling me. I got aroused. They performed oral sex. I hung around a little bit and talked to them. Then I left.
Get that drop.
The greatest. I'm a happily married man. Don't ruin my life. I said that for your entertainment. Anyway, so Raven and Kane went to the Gold Club and left certainly without the $10,000 in ones. They're back at the house. It's daylight again. I guess they were out all night. I'm talking
You guess?
talking to Raven.
$20,000.
By the way, Mama Raven is at the longest board meeting I've ever heard of.
Yes. Yes. So she tells Scotty, WCW called, they want you to go back to work. He shrugs and says, okay.
Gets all depressed.
He gets a little depressed, and he passes by her, but he's still right next to her. And he looks into his magic camera and says, she's not too bright. So we now know Raven's mom is deaf.
Yeah. Well, the camera's invisible.
So that was the end.
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember how this goes. If you were to bet, do you think when Raven comes out on Nitro next week, he's going to be in his cool Versace clothes, or is he going to be in jorts and a sleeveless t-shirt again?
Fuck if I know.
I suspect this all accomplishes nothing. He's just a fucking Raven.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
Okay, now this... this was worse than anything on Raw.
Absolutely.
But it was funny, so I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I did, in fact, write at the end of this. This show is easily into so bad it's good territory. Kat and Sonny Ono come out. Kat does his usual spiel. I am the greatest. Calls all the fans fat boys.
I challenge anybody in the back.
Challenge everybody in the back. They go backstage where the NWO tells Vince that Kat's calling him up by name. He doesn't want to go, but they bully him into going, so he goes out to fight. As he's leaving, one of them, I wish I didn't know who it was. One of them says, go out there and pretend that you know how to wrestle. He did. That is exactly what he did.
First, he runs into Disco.
Yes.
He tries to pass the buck. Disco's not falling for it this week.
No.
So he finally comes out, and listen, it took us 30 seconds to explain that. Mm-hmm. This is fucking 10 minutes of TV here.
Yeah.
Shat's in the ring for 10 fucking minutes issuing an open challenge while they do all this bullshit backstage commercials or whatever. And by the way, was it ever explained why nobody comes out to challenge Ernest the Cat Miller?
He's beneath them.
This ain't Rick Steiner.
I don't know.
This ain't Goldberg. This ain't like a big threat. It's Ernest Miller.
Scott Norton destroyed him last week. It was great.
So fucking Vincent comes out. No matter what I've ever said about Ernest Miller, he's 10 times the worker that Vincent is.
I think you're being...
Maybe 100?
Yeah.
Vincent is so unbelievably horrible. You've never had a match this bad. You've never had a match this bad.
Thank you.
Tony, who had a couple of YWF matches, has never had a match this bad. This fucking match was so bad, and I can't even explain the finish. I'm going to tell you what I saw, okay?
Okay.
So they're doing
Do
this
your best.
fucking terrible match. My profanity does not even begin to explain how fucking terrible this match was. Ernest Miller goes up to the top rope. His manager, Sonny Ono, his manager, jumps up on the apron. I guess Ono tried to hit Vincent
Right.
over the ropes.
Yes.
But somehow in doing so, he accidentally crotches Ernest Miller.
Correct.
Ernest Miller falls into the ring. They're they're just slumped in the corner, both of them. And somehow Vincent ends up on top and gets the pin.
Yeah.
the way I saw it, and I don't know if I'm right or you're right, I think what the idea was that Sonny would be on the apron for whatever reason, and Vince would grab him and throw him into the cat.
That didn't happen.
That's the best I could do. This match was in fact fucking shitty.
It was so bad.
In fact, that's a factual statement. That's not an opinion. It was fucking shitty. Vince won, and I did go back and time it. The entire segment went 12 minutes.
I swear to God, there's no way there's a worse match in 1999. In fact, I got to go find out.
How long had Vince been in?
That is my other question.
How long? Go ahead.
Has there ever been a guy who lasted longer or made more money in this business with zero value?
No, of course not.
He brought nothing to the table.
How long had he been wrestling at this point? Because he couldn't.
A decade.
He couldn't take a bump.
He could run the ropes.
Forever.
He could not take a bump. He hit. I don't know how he made it out alive. These were the worst flat back bumps I've ever seen in my life.
Worst match of the year. Observer Awards. Oh, fuck. Al Snow versus the Big Boss Man, Kennel from Hell.
Pretty bad.
It's going to be tough.
As I recall,
I mean, I can't imagine it being worse than this.
at some point in this horrible NWO feud, we actually get, on pay-per-view, Vince versus Stevie Ray.
Oh, God.
So, the competition that year was quite stiff. All right, we're in the parking lot. Kimberly and Paige are getting ready to leave. Scott Steiner goes to harass her. Paige zooms in and attacks. Security tries to break up the fight, but all 12 guys hold back Paige. So Steiner's free to go. Steiner attempts to carjack Kimberly. He succeeds, actually.
Yeah, he
Gets in
didn't
the
attempt.
car.
How realistic was this, Vinny?
Mine, I don't look like Kimberly, first of all.
That's true.
Mine didn't go anything at all like this, actually. So Steiner zooms off with Kimberly. Does a Yui. Paige goes out and runs and stands in front of the car. Don't do that, everyone.
No.
You're a madman. I know it's your wife and you want to save your wife, but it's a car. You can't diamond cutter a car. The car zooms by.
Cool spot, though.
It would look awesome. The door opens. A stunt woman dressed as Kimberly falls out of the door, rolls on the cement, lands right at Paige's feet. Paige is not shocked. Paige is not horrified. Paige is ready to pick a fight. Paige starts yelling at people, get an ambulance. God damn it. They go to commercial.
It looked good.
I mean,
As
the
a
one thing I'll
professional
say
stunt woman.
is when the
And
EMTs
professional
came
stunt
out,
driver, I'm sure.
Sure.
the EMTs did a very believable job.
Yes.
They actually
true.
put her in a real neck brace. They actually carefully loaded her onto the backboard.
So
that
not
was at
the-
least realistic.
We're not
Paige
the
was at
people that were attending to Shawn Michaels a
No.
few weeks ago.
No.
Paige was at least distressed after the break.
I do have to say one thing, though. I mean, maybe there was a cut that I didn't see, but, like, Steiner's driving like a fucking idiot in this
There was a
car
cut.
backstage.
There was a cut.
There was? Okay.
Yeah. This was
Because
not-
after a while, I mean, there was a deal with Brett where he had to be the stunt driver.
Yes.
And he almost killed himself.
Yes.
He was furious about
I
it.
did notice that the security guards were slipping all over the place, so it's very possible it was icy.
Yeah, I'm sure it was icy. Yeah, one security guard just goes flying when he ran out there.
Yeah. So, as they're tending to Kimberly, Tony Schiavone says, "Can you believe that? Scott Steiner pushed her out of a moving car."
How would he have done that?
I'm assuming everyone listening has actually driven a car at some point. You can't just throw the other door open.
It's Scott Steiner we're talking about.
Now,
here,
granted, I know his arms are bigger than mine.
It's true.
He still can't push a grown human. He can't open the door, first of all. Anyway, it's much more believable and just as traumatic to say she jumped out of a moving car to get away from him. But no one's smart and told
Maybe
me
next
that.
week he'll say that, like, she was making a move on me and I was pushing her away.
To defend
and
myself?
the door just flew open and out she went. We'll see.
Larry Zbyszko was in the bathroom lecturing Bischoff.
Gosh, such a douche.
Which one?
Both of them.
Bret Hart versus Roddy Piper. So they're doing this brawl.
Hey, let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
First off, Piper can barely get his shirt off. But,
He was wearing a schmedium.
to his credit, he was in so much better shape than the last time he was on Nitro.
Yeah.
He almost had abs.
Part of
He
the thing-
wasn't great, but, like, Brett, even with a torn groin, is good enough that they had, like, a totally fine match.
I enjoyed
Sure.
the match.
Yeah, this was a pretty good. It was better than anything on Raw.
Nothing to make fun of. In fact, I only have praise. The shirt thing, I forget who it was that pointed out to me. It may have been Buddy Rose, but somebody, Piper always took his shirt off that way. It would be super tight, and he'd get it all, tightened up in his grip, and then pop it over his head real quick, so he never had to take his eyes off his opponent.
I see.
As a Piper
I
thing.
see.
Yeah. Now, it was a very, very small shirt.
Yes.
So that's part of it,
and
too.
he was large.
He was a large man. So, yeah, they're doing this match. It's a perfectly fine brawl. And Brett does the best sell job ever of a low blow. It was so great.
It was so great. I thought he...
You also thought, yes.
Yeah.
I went back and watched it 3 times.
And the announcers
I
are
could
like,
not
oh
believe
my God, he got, Piper low blowed him.
The storyline was Brett was faking an injury.
Yeah.
He was so great at it, we thought Piper must have hit him.
I rewound it because
Same
when
here.
they said that Piper hadn't, I was like, I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
And then I went back and my eyes deceived me.
Bret Hart was awesome.
It was fucking great.
So
on the show, like I didn't see it, maybe I skipped it, I don't think so, but like on the actual show, they had footage of Mad TV. They didn't show that, did they?
No, they never
Okay.
show anything like that on your.
So they explained that what happened was Brett was a guest on Mad TV with Will Sasso,
okay.
and he shot on him,
Ha.
and he put him in the sharpshooter in the middle of a skit.
Yeah, sure.
What?
I actually, it was not a shoot. They did a skit.
Well, of
that
course
ended-
not,
they
but
did-
that's what they're pretending.
Right, they did a skit that ended with Brett putting Will Sasso in a sharpshooter, and
Yeah.
WCW is pretending the sketch comedy show was a real fight.
Yes, yes.
So they do this match. Brett, they bring the doctor in and check Brett's nuts, and he pops up and starts beating on Piper, and the doctor just stands in the corner. No one's smarting him up either. Eventually, they're brawling outside. Brett yanks Sasso over the railings, beats him up for a while.
Zero reaction from the
I
crowd.
didn't know who he was.
Nobody had any idea
He's
who
still a
this
fan.
fat guy was. Well, the problem was there was also a fight in the crowd, so
Yes, everybody was
they were distracted.
So the ref gets bumped.
Can I explain this finish?
Yes. You
Brett-
want to.
There's a ref bump, okay? Brett goes for a gimmick out of his trunks. He KOs Piper. Sasso gets up after being beaten up. Him and Bret Hart have a tug of war
That happened.
with the referee,
Yes.
who's dead.
Right.
Sasso, for some reason, is grabbing his legs. Brett is grabbing his arms, and they're trying to pull him in half.
Sure.
Why? I don't know, but in the middle of it, Sasso's very fat,
Well, you see,
so he wins. Brett tumbles backwards, and Piper schoolboys him, and the ref wakes up and counts.
You got it backwards.
What?
Brett won the tug of war.
yes,
Sasso let go.
I see.
So as Brett was falling backwards, he yanks the referee in a perfect position to count the pin.
I see.
And the ref comes to, he sees somebody's shoulders down and he counts 3.
Okay.
the reason they were playing tug of war is Brett was bringing the ref over to count the pin. Sasso was holding him back, so he couldn't count the pin.
It was much better than it sounds recapping it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty good.
And the best thing about it, Piper took exactly 4 bumps.
He's a smart man.
He's a
Yes,
very smart man. I've been studying that match.
Tori tells you, the viewer, excuse me, got all choked up talking about Tori Wilson.
well,
Tori tells you, the viewer, to sit down. She'll be right back. And she and her miniskirt go into the bathroom.
She never came back.
You never saw her.
God damn it. All that.
that's not the way they usually end, is it?
I was hoping for the, get the extra attitude on Raw sometimes. I would get Nitro After Dark or something.
Saxophone playing in the background.
The Outsiders versus Ric Flair and Steve McMichael. So, first of all,
They got the heat on Mongo.
Yeah, the guy that can't sell is the guy we're going to beat up for 10 minutes here. But you know what? After that Vincent versus Cat match,
Dude, this is not wrong with this at all.
Mongo selling was merely below average.
I don't think I complained about anything in this entire match.
On any other show, it would have been unimaginable.
I described it merely as clunky.
Yes.
The Wolfpack took so goddamn long to get to the ring, their song ended. Just want to throw that out there. So again, they're doing this match. Flair gets a hot tag. Mongo can't even do a hot tag. They never made contact. The announcers didn't think it was a hot tag. The fans didn't pop for the hot tag.
So bad.
Flair's just in the ring chopping dudes. They go backstage.
Whoa. Flair makes a comeback. He puts a figure 4 leg lock on Scott Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Nash is literally, he's taking a nap outside the ring. I don't even know what the fuck he's doing.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. Nash, after Flair's running out in the hall, Nash goes to get in the ring by stepping over the top rope.
Yep.
So Flair kicks the middle rope, which sends the top rope into Nash's balls.
Yep,
That's what happened.
that's what happened.
Well, that's bullshit.
It is.
Okay. So Nash is outside cradling his nuts. Flair has his finish on Scott Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is when they cut backstage.
It is.
During this pivotal moment in the match. And do you want to know what they cut backstage for? Hulk Hogan is walking through the hall with a bucket.
There's some guy. I have no idea who it was. There's a guy laid out on the floor. Hogan reaches into the bathroom and gets a bucket, presumably from Bischoff, and Hogan goes for a long stroll down the hallway.
Now we didn't.
As he's doing this, hold on.
Okay.
As he's walking with a goddamn bucket, okay?
A mop bucket.
The announcers, I guess, are supposed to pretend they can't see what's happening backstage.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a brief pause and they're about to tell us what's happening, but then they realize they can't. So there's another pause, and then they're like, Hall's in the figure 4. Hogan
Right.
walks.
They come back to Hogan walking. To ensure the announcers didn't spoil anything, they mute the announcers, they mute the crowd noise, so all you hear is Hogan's footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
For that long.
Should be a Foley artist. That's good.
I'm quite talented. Hogan comes down the aisle with a bucket. He goes to throw the bucket in Flair's eyes. I think Mongo pushed Flair out of the way.
If he's coming out with the bucket, why do we need to see him walking for 10 minutes with a bucket?
So I can do my Foley joke.
Okay.
Now-
It was a great setup by Hulk Hogan 19 years ago.
What we missed, what we forgot to talk about, is that when Larry was in the bathroom, he demanded that Bischoff bleach the floor. And that's when Bischoff poured the bleach into the bucket.
I see.
So it's all Larry's fault.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I guess.
Did that storyline need that much explanation?
No.
It could have been Hulk Hogan coming out with a bucket of bleach.
May I explain the finish?
I hope Mongo
what
is
happened, I
white next
forget.
week, though.
Hogan comes out with the bucket.
He will be, don't worry.
He tosses the bleach or whatever into Mongo's eyes, and Flair goes after him. Hogan runs into the wrestling ring.
Yes.
Not a disqualification.
No.
That was number 1.
Nor was pouring bleach into Mongo's eyes.
Nope. Hall and Nash double team Flair. Not a disqualification.
Correct.
Disco Inferno hits the ring. He attacks Ric Flair.
That's number 2.
Not a disqualification. Flair makes a comeback. Goldberg comes down, spears Disco. Not a
That's
disqualification.
number 3.
Bigelow runs in, hits Goldberg. Neither guy is in the match.
That's number 4.
That's a disqualification.
Right. It's
Yes.
a 4-man rule. Everybody knows it, Brian.
That's what happened.
Okay, this show fell off a cliff at the end. It was still better
This
than
is a
Raw.
horrible show.
Yes.
It was very bad. It was still better than Raw.
Okay. Well, there's only one thing left to do then.
Brian.
Oh! Pardon me. Here we go.
The finishes on this show were clean pin, one horrible pinfall finish in a tag team match, clean pin that somehow involved a manager, and I'm still not quite sure what happened. Pin after a ref bump, a foreign object, and Will Sasso. And then DQ when one guy who was not in a match attacked another guy who was also not in the match.
Bullshit.